One of the important steps that you need to take before submitting your client's podcast is to make sure that you have validated the RSS feed that was generated. Now, there are different generators of RSS feed depending on which media hosting provider you're actually with. So for me, for example, I am making use of Captivate. And today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the validation process and as well as the tools or the websites that we're going to use to validate the feed that I have from Captivate. Two of the tools that I am using to validate a podcast include Podbase. Okay, so right now you can see that I am on Captivate, and I'll just go ahead and copy the RSS feed. Okay, so this is Podbase, and all you need to do is to paste the RSS feed URL. And then you just have to go ahead and click on Go, and that will check on your RSS feed. Now you will see here showing the basic universal test. And so far, you will see that all of these major items are checked. Okay, there's some note on the image size. So its recommended size is 512 KB. And currently, we have my cover art at 650 KB. Okay, so everything looks good. So basically, it's only the cover art file size which is actually it's getting considered as too big. Okay, so nothing major. It's ready and it can be used to submit to Apple Podcasts and to the different podcast directories. Now, if I already have this kind of result here on Podbase, do I still need to validate it on another feed validator? If it has already been validated by Podbase or any other podcast or RSS feed validator, then it should be good to go. However, if you want to make sure that everything works perfectly or everything works fine, you can just run it through a cast feed validator or to any other feed validators just to make sure that there's nothing that you have missed. So I'll go ahead and try it here on Cast Feed Validator just in case it has a different result. And again, you just paste the RSS feed and then go ahead and click on Start Validation. Okay, so the test results are in. Basic feed tests, all good. Server tests, all good. Artwork tests. Again, this is where we are getting this issue. And for the media tests, there is an ID3 tag that is missing, which is title ID3 tag. Also, website tests. So you will notice that Cast Feed Validator actually provides more details on the test that was done, and it has specified specifically what part of these tests were made. Now, if we're going to compare basic universal tests, Podbase did not actually have any of the tests for the website as well as for the media tests or for ID3 tags. But they did have a common result for artwork or the cover art. I think we're good and we can just update and make the necessary changes with the cover art, reducing it down to 512 KB and adding the title tag. So that is actually one of the ways you can also troubleshoot your RSS feed. If, for example, you're having issues with your podcast listing not showing an episode, not showing the cover art or things like that, you can always check your RSS feed with this feed validators, and it's going to help you a lot in making sure that everything's covered and you can fix it. If there's any question or clarification that you have about feed validation or about these tools that we are using, feel free to get in touch. Let me know. You can email me or you can send me a message on Facebook. That's it. Have a good one.